On our way to our couple of days in the northeast, we stop off on Hadrian's Wall. This is Birdoswald Fort, known as Banner in Roman times. The fort was occupied from approximately 112 AD till about 400 AD. This is the site of the drill and exercise hall. The remains of one of the two principal gates of the fort. Travelling east about half an hour, we come to Housesteads, known as Vercovicium in Roman times, the largest, best preserved fort on the wall. There's an ancient Briton giving forth about the privations of the Romans. This was the granary. Travelling further east, we reach Chester's Fort, known as Chilernum. This is what remains of the North Gate. This was the barracks. The bathhouse, usefully close to the river. This is the point where the wall crossed the North Tyne River on a Roman bridge that no longer exists. Chester's has a museum which has been restored to look as it would have done in Victorian times. Next morning in Durham, and this is Market Square. Walking up towards the cathedral precinct, and the streets are a bit steep. Joe found a quirky shoe shop with an interesting window display. Our first view of the cathedral. Construction began in 1093 in the Norman style. There are later additions in Gothic and later styles. Durham Castle, also dating from the 11th century, was once the palace of the Bishop of Durham and is now a university hall of residence. No video in the cathedral itself, but we can video in the cloisters. An ancient connection to the first President of the United States. We walked across Prebend's Bridge to get the picture postcard views of the cathedral. Heading back now to the park and ride to collect the car, and we went for a drive along the coast and finished up at Hartlepool. The paddle steamer Wingfield Castle was built in Hartlepool in the 1930s. In its saloon there's a nice coffee shop. It spent its working life as a ferry on the River Humber. Nearby, HMS Trincomalee, the oldest warship afloat. HMS Victory is 50 years older, but is in dry dock. Our final morning, and we're visiting Beamish, the great open-air museum, with free entry because of our deal with the hotel. We're starting off with a tram ride to the reconstructed town. Serious engineering stuff being discussed here. There are numbers of original buses and trams from various eras. The Pit Village. The original Pit Head. A row of miners' cottages. This is behind the miners' cottages. Inside, you can get a glimpse of how life might have been. Gardens at the front of the cottages, mainly growing vegetables. Inside, the Methodist chapel. There's an authentic chip shop with a coal-fired range using beef dripping, but we'd have had to queue for 2 hours to get our chips, so we didn't bother. Stepping back further in time to the 1820s, and a wagonway pulled by a replica of Puffing Billy. The original Puffing Billy was built in 1813 and is now in the London Science Museum. This replica has been running at Beamish since 2006. And finally, Pockerley Old Hall, as it would have been in the 1820s.